Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I know I haven't been posting in a long time, but of course a lot of changes were made, but this is actually my first video being made in a while. As you guys see, a lot of changes made. I made my hair is red and so forth, but anyways, this video is not necessarily the easiest video to make. It's something that has been on my mind, and let me first say this. I'm not saying that I don't love myself, and I'm not saying, or I'm not comparing myself to anybody. They're just questions and thoughts in my head that has been running through my head lately, and I want to be able to share it because maybe I'm not the only person that has gone through it or is going through it. So who knows, maybe this video can help somebody else who feels scared or doesn't want to speak on it. So, and I feel like for me, I have always been real when it came to my videos, and I feel like I want to be open about this. This is something that I've never talked about with anyone, but it has been something that's weighed on me and been on my mind. So for the past few weeks, or for a while now, I haven't been exactly happy with myself, and of course, like in the skin that I'm in. So I had decided to start my weight loss journey, and which is going okay. But I guess for me, as humans, if we want something done right away, like now. But it's going well. But honestly, I just feel like it's like my mind is overwhelmed with questions and just thoughts, and it's scary for me because, one of the thoughts is, let me take it back this way. Growing up, of course, my childhood was toxic. And I remember, of course, I was bullied when being young, and in school. I know it was in middle school. High school, not so much. I usually kept to myself, but it did stop. As far as the bullying when I was in school, it was in middle school. And honestly, I can remember like as if it was yesterday. Of course, I was name called, but there were 3 names that I was always called, that it seems like just yesterday it was going on. And I'm gonna try not to get emotional in this video, but those 3 names were, of course, Big Lips, because my lips were big. The other one was being called a monkey. I don't know, I guess because maybe I looked like one, or because my lips were big. And then the other one was being called an 8. And even though I grew up, and growing up now, and I kind of got away from that, for a lot of people, sometimes words are kind of imprinted on you. So it's like, it's something that can always stick with you in the mindset sometimes, especially when you're in your lowest times. You think about stuff like that. So, growing up now, like I said, I'm older now, and of course I've had relationships, but clearly didn't work out. And, like I said, I do love myself, but at the same time, I question and wonder, like, am I attractive? Like, I just wonder, like, am I, good enough? Like, as physical wise, I'm getting older, and, I just turned a certain age. So it's scary because it's like, I wonder if I'm really gonna live the rest of my life alone. Am I gonna die alone? Will I ever get to explore be able to explore being in a relationship with someone and have a marriage? And please don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that I need it or want it, but it would be nice to have that certain someone, and just seeing it every day in the world, it's like, it's something that I would enjoy and do want, that I'm ready for. But then it's like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, am I attractive? Like, what is it about me that's not attractive? Like, am I ugly? Like I said, I'm getting older, so it's like, it's hard. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that thinks like this. It's like, what is it that isn't attractive? And it's hard. And I know it's hard to hear, but it's hard to say and it's hard to think. But those are the types of thoughts and questions that I have in my mind. I know a lot of people tell me I'm pretty and this and that, which I appreciate. But then it's like me telling myself, it's like, is that true? Like, am I pretty? Am I attractive? And it's like, I see all these beautiful women out in this world, and I'm just wondering, like, sometimes I wonder, like, why was I made this way? Why wasn't I made like all the, as far as look wise, the ones that are natural looks, not the ones that are paid for, but, why don't I look pretty like them? And I just wonder, am I ever gonna be good enough, or am I good enough, for somebody? And it's hard to think about. Of course, I'm not talking about my son because I love my son to death, but I know eventually he's getting older and he's gonna end up having his own life, so it's just hard to think about, and I hate having those thoughts, but it's like they're there. And don't get me wrong, me losing weight and stuff, it's for me, but it's just, I can't really help but to think, like, will I ever have that? Have what other people have, or that are in relationships, will I ever feel that? And sometimes I tell myself, like, in reality, like, it may never happen for you. And I know I pray a lot, and I know God has somebody for everyone, but it's just, it's just in the back of my mind, like, my life that I have now, this may be my reality up until the day that I die. And it's a hard pill to swallow, And for me, I don't want just anybody, So don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I'm desperate or anything, I'm just being honest. And I hate having those type of questions in my mind. I hate thinking that way. I hate having this mindset, but it's just one of them things that I think about. And I don't know. I guess it's just something that you can't really explain. It's just, I try not to think about it so much because I know if I do, it's gonna like really affect me. I don't think I'm ugly, but I know for me, I'm just, as far as me thinking of myself, I'm just uncomfortable in my skin, and that's why I decided to do something about it, which I am, and I'm proud to do it, but I just wonder, especially being at the age that I am, like, is this it for me? Is this how my life is going to be? Is it just going to be me? Because like I said, I know my son will always be my son, but my son is growing up and he's going to eventually have his own life. And then it's just me. So, and it's like, sometimes I wonder, what can I change? What is it about me that sucks? It's like questions that I just don't even know how to answer because I don't know. So, try not to be emotional right now about it. But, and like I said, I pray on it every day, and it's like I try not to think that way, but it's like sometimes you just can't help it. It's just those thoughts roll in your head, you know, as you're getting older and you're seeing everything going on in this world. And it's like all you think about, especially when you know you're at that age or at that time in your life when you're ready to have that companionship, it's like you tend to think like that, you know, have thoughts in your head. You know, I know I'm not the only one. And it's hard. You know, and it's like mainly that the thought that scares me is just being alone for the rest of my life. You know, it's like, do I come to terms with that, or do I just accept that? And I think that's what makes it so hard, because I don't know if that's the reality I need to accept or should accept. I don't know. You know, it's not the reality I want to accept, but you know, I don't just want anybody. I want that person, that guy that is going to accept me, flaws and all, and accept the fact that I am a mother, you know, and be able to be there in good and bad times. Somebody who is real and who will be able to love me for me and love my son at the same time and be there for us, and vice versa. You know, who I can be myself with, and, you know, of course, vice versa. You know, who will be able to treat me the way I deserve and treat my son the way he deserves. But I don't know, you know, and the other thing that crosses my mind is being a mom. You know, I know it's a lot harder to or I guess when it comes to relationships, it's a lot harder. It's a little bit more challenging because you have a kid now, you know, and I know that comes with a lot of baggage too, depending on the situation and the person. But I know with me, my situation, of course, is a little bit different, but I'm not going to go into details. I'm just going to say that it's a little different, you know. Like I said, I still pray and have faith, but it doesn't mean that it makes it any less harder, you know. And that's just, I was going to sleep last night and I just really thought about it. Like, I know I'm not gonna lie, like, even now I attracted guys that I know aren't right for me, who just isn't for me, you know. And I know my biggest mistake throughout my life, even, you know, growing up, I'm not gonna lie, when I was young, I was all about boys, and that's who I made my life. So yeah, I made a lot of mistakes and wish I could have done things differently, but I can't. You know, it's all I could do is live and learn from those situations and grow from it, you know, because now I am a mom, and I have to be careful and mindful of who I bring into not just my life, because whoever I bring into my life will be in my son's life, and I don't want him to get hurt. I don't want to have him feel the pain that I always felt when it came to relationships. So that's why, you know, at some point in my life, I let go and I'm letting God do it, take care of it, because only He knows who is right for me, if there is somebody, you know. It's hard. It's really hard to wonder and to think that it may just be me for the rest of my life, you know, and that sucks. You know, I feel like I'm growing up, and I feel like for some reason I just feel like I'm missing out on a lot when it comes to having that companionship. And I just feel like as you get older, it gets a lot harder. Sorry. And yeah, so, but you know, I still pray and continue to pray and stay in faith, but but I'm not trusting, I don't question God's work or anything, but it's just hard. It's hard. You know, I hate feeling this way. I hate feeling like I'm not good enough, or I guess you could say worthy enough, you know. And the worst part is I don't know, you know, if there's something wrong with me, what is it? You know, I feel like for me, I know a lot of the trauma and everything that I went through when I was young and growing up, it has affected me as far as trust issues and overthinking a lot when it comes to relationships. And that's why I made a lot of mistakes when I was young growing up, because I was looking for the attention in all the wrong places. I was trying to fill that hole and that void in my life that I was missing. I guess you could say I had daddy issues. And I was out there just trying to fill that void and everything from people that wasn't going to do it. And I feel like everything that I did, and I didn't realize until now that everything that I did, it was for nothing. Like I said, I know I made mistakes, and you know, I can't change it. All I could have done was learn and grow from it. And I feel like I came a long way. So it's hard. You know, I feel like I'm literally missing out and life is passing me by when it comes to my love life. Not that I have one, it's non-existent, but I'm just saying, I feel like I'm missing out, and I feel like the older I get, it's going to be harder. And I just don't know. I really don't know where to start. And if it happens, how do I do it? Like, I don't know. I have so many questions. You know, everything that I did go through, you know, it really changed how I view relationships. And, you know, it's a fight because I want to be able to know how to love and how to feel safe when it comes to a guy, insecure, to know that, to be able to trust a guy knowing that he won't do me wrong or do my son wrong. And that everything will be okay. It's a fight because especially when it comes to trust, it's very, very hard. Because all I've ever known when it came to relationships is the negative aspect of it. So I had to teach myself how to, and by the grace of God too, you know, I had to teach myself how to be okay and how to teach myself how to be open-minded when it comes to relationships and not to put all guys in the same category, because that's what I used to do, you know, that not all guys are the same, that there are good men out there, you know, and that's what I learned. I have to be patient and let God do his work. And maybe this is just a phase or a moment, but I don't know, it's just hard because I just wonder, like, is it me? Like, did I do something wrong? I mean, that's why I wonder sometimes, like, why was I made this way? You know? Like, if I was made any different, would it be easier? You know? It's just hard. But I continue to stay positive and to pray and have faith, because I'd rather not I'd rather wait and be patient and stay and be single until God brings somebody in my life or in our lives that is the right person, than to be with somebody who's gonna hurt me or hurt my son or be a negative impact in our lives. So, you know, I always told myself that the next relationship I end up in, if I end up in one, I want it to be my last. I don't want to have to keep going through this. You know, so, yeah. But, I don't know. It's just, those are the questions that I have in my head. And it's crazy because I don't know how to even put it, like, there's guys out there that, or a guy, I guess, or whatever, that is awesome. He seriously reminds so much of me as far as personality wise, but also morals and values. But I already know the situation with that, so I'm not even get too far into it, but it's just like, I don't know. It's hard. It's just hard. Like, there's just, I hate feeling this way, and I hate having those thoughts in my head, because I know I'm a good person. You know, I'm not saying that I'm perfect or anything. You know, it's just, I just wonder, like, physically, I don't know. You know, I try my best and so hard to make any changes, but for me, I want to make that clear. Any changes that I make for myself is for me. But it's just, I don't know. I guess because I am getting older, that I'm just facing those questions and have to, like, it's a reality I don't want to face. Sometimes it's just hard to tell myself, like, I mean, yeah, so I guess we'll just see. Time will tell. And like I said, I continue to leave it in God's hand, and it's not always going to happen when we want it, because I know as human beings, that's what it is. We want things done now. We want things now, but it's not always going to be on our time. It's going to be on God's time, but it's scary. It's real scary. It's a real scary thought. You know, I know this world is messed up, and I know now in days in this generations, it's all about sex, but that's not what it's about for me. That's not what I want. You know, I feel like you can get that in a relationship, but that's not, honestly, it's just not something that I'm focused on. You know, when it comes to relationships, like, I want to do things the right way. I want to be able to get to know the guy and spend time with him, and, you know, just do things the right way and not backwards. But it's like, it's hard, because nowadays I feel like you don't know the true nature behind getting to know someone. Sometimes it's hard. It's like you can't. And I'm not gonna lie, some guys are, you know, I feel like guys were given that gift of being a smooth talker just to get what they want, and that's what makes it so difficult, because you don't know how to separate the two. You know, you don't know if a guy's getting to know you just to get into your pants, or if he genuinely wants to get to know you for you as a person, and to grow with you, and, you know, to be in that relationship with you. And that's what the messed up part is, because I feel like even in a relationship you can still get the sex, but that's not what I want. That's not what I'm focused on. But that's just how it is now. That's the world right now. So I know, hopefully this is just a phase, but I know eventually everything, I know I tell myself, and have to stay positive and tell myself that everything is gonna be okay. You know, that one day I will find happiness, but it's just those questions and the thoughts that roll into my head. You know, as far as the physical part, I don't know. I know sometimes I just feel like I'm not good enough in that aspect or that department. I feel like something about me is wrong. And something about me is just not attractive. But I just can't figure it out. So, and like I said, I just want to be clear. I will never change myself for anyone. Any changes I decide to make is for me. You know, I will never pay to make myself look good or anything, like do any type of surgeries and stuff like that. I just wonder sometimes, like, why was I made this way? It's just hard. But yeah, so that's just really I guess I'm having like a little venting moment. And if anyone out there is going through what I'm going through, or like feel the way I'm feeling, know that you're not alone. And you know, we're all in this together, and we just got to continue to pray and have faith and know that we're loved. And it's important to love ourselves, because if we don't love ourselves, how are we ever going to be able to love someone else? You know, and as hard as it is, especially if you're single out there and you're getting up in that age, know that God has a plan for all of us. We just have to be patient and have to wait, you know, because God will never steer us wrong. So I just want to thank you guys for joining into my YouTube video, and I hope you guys stay blessed, stay safe out there, and take care. And I will make sure to try to keep up on the videos. But I love you guys. Thank you. Bye, guys.